Yes, Benda, how are you?
Hey.
Eclipse Day, yes, and I think tomorrow's the lunar eclipse. I think it's in the dawning, so yes. Full moon. Because it's in the eclipse season, it's called a lunar eclipse. But how have you been? How you been, Charlene?
Hey, yes, very well. I had a great Cheza yesterday. It was amazing. It was everything I needed to shake off the extra bits and bobs. So I feel great. Yeah. I stepped. Yeah, it was real. It was lovely.
Love that.
Absolutely wonderful. Ah.
Yes, for everyone who doesn't know about Rojo, you need to go. I wasn't able to make yesterday's because I was working, but guys, honestly, it's life changing. That's all I can say about it. That's it. Breathe it in. How's the rest of your week been?
Do you know what? Actually, pretty good. Pretty good. It's like that
Hmm.
vibration of getting things done, but in a neat pace. It's just been right up my streak, and just a move like rest now, do that. I've just been just going along with it. Like, okay, I kind of was gonna go and do that. No, no, it's this. Oh, okay. So I've been listening. So it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I feel great. How about you?
I feel good. I feel good. You know what? I really realized what the new moon and the full moon was. I was doing some deep introspection this week. And it's been so eye-opening, especially this week. I was able to go back into my home space, go back to my roots, just doing what I wanted to do, made some changes around the house. Because Pisces is in my fourth house. So for anyone who doesn't know, sometimes if you want to make the most out of these things personally, what you do is you look at what house it's in and then you focus on that topic and then you zone in to it. So yeah, I was able to do some
Sounds
deep,
amazing.
like almost like spiritual and house detoxing. But certain things broke as well, which is like, okay, I need to change this. Yeah, I need to change this. But I was like, all right, cool, thank you, universe. You've given me the next couple projects
I
that
like
I'm gonna be taking. So
that.
yeah,
Daryl, that's big shifting, It's huge. And I always say when it comes to things like that, when you're able to
yeah,
get the time to go in, it's the most beautiful thing in the world because you are connecting with what's right for you, not necessarily trying to, jump on what the collective's on. It's like, right, what does it mean to me? And that's why I say to people, jump with Daryl to get your personal, yeah, I mean your birth charts reading because it is second to none, and you do get a serious insight into who you are and what you're here to do. So yeah, it's big up Daryl. I think that's amazing, absolutely amazing. Hey
no,
everyone.
thank you. And everyone needs to get a personal reading from you. We know your intuition is more than capable of picking up the signs as well. So guys, you're spoiled for choice. Spoiled for choice.
Amen. Do you want to kick off?
Cool. Yeah, I don't mind kicking off. I don't mind kicking off. So this week we've only got two major transits that are happening. So the first one, as we know, is the full moon or the lunar eclipse, which is tomorrow. That'll be in the sign of Scorpio. So on the Taurus Scorpio axis, we are doing a full breakdown of that at 7 p.m. on the Monday. The links are in our bio, so make sure you tap into that. But just as a broad overview, it's going to be about spiritual detoxing. What's holding you back from doing what you need to do to sustain your life in whatever field that it is and what it turns up in your house, etc. So then on Saturday, the sun goes into Gemini, as we know. So this is the first mutable sign of the astrological year. It's about the change. So we've all been doing our work. We've got our visions. The sun has been shining on those topics for us. And now it's saying, okay, if this is what you want to sustain, what information do you need either to market your business or to take in, not just business, but life in general? What information do we need to take in? What connections do we need to make so that we can make what is solid now and then promote it. So, you know, when you built something, you need to know how to maintain it. There's always that little bit of extra mental growth that we need to go through. And so that's what the sign of Gemini is really talking about, the exchange of ideas, talking to people, networking. You know, what information do you need to put together to create what it is that needs to be created? So that's when the sun goes into Gemini, that's what it's about. Right? Because that's the ego, the consciousness is pushing these ideas and this information on you. So apart from that, we really are prepping, to be honest, to come into the Saturn and Uranus square, which is coming out. So we're coming out of the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction. So the highest version of ourselves, it's revealed itself now. Whether you wanted to, you know, we know in our hearts, we know we've got that intuition, we've got that vision of what we want. The next set of transits, or the longer ones, is going to be build it. Are you going to pay for your freedom? Are you going to put the work in to achieve what it is that you want to achieve? Always remember that there's balance. It is almost like a balance sort of transit for the rest of the year. So remember that, do things for yourself, but also make sure that you're working hard on what it is that you need to achieve. So yes, that's a small breakdown. Sorry guys, if you have any questions, by the way, you know, put them in the chat. That makes it easier for us to continue it going. But what was your thoughts on that, Charlene, so far?
So it makes full sense where you're talking about this, where you know what's going on with the change in you and what you've been looking towards. I've been able to see so much of the potential, you know, even if it's been frightening some of the aspects, you know, becoming a little bit more forthcoming and stuff like that. It's like, even me and my cousin were talking about how it's like things are just being like illuminated, and it's like things are just bait now, you know, like back in the day where you would be okay with fading into the background, you know. That's something that was like a running thing, like, yeah, I'll just mosey on into the back and just watch what's going on. There was not really space for that no more. The Most High saying, get from outside of the hiding, yeah? It's not the time to be all skulking in the corner talking about, oh, I kind of want to step in, but I'm not sure. It is just go and just be, because there's nobody like you. So it's given a sense of confidence. You know, there is a little trepidation in there too, because obviously there are parts of ourselves that when it's illuminated, it's like, wow, okay. So that ain't no joke. Do you get what I mean? But then to get one with that, you know, is lovely. So that is a great, it makes sense, because that's what I've been seeing the last couple of weeks, especially I'd say the last 2 weeks in particular. I've been vibing that sort of, you know what you're meant to do, you know what it is, and you just take your time and do it and just be divinely led, and don't even, you know, like second guess. You know, sometimes you can spend a long time second guessing. So that's a beautiful confirmation. Thank you.
No worries, no worries. And guys, I just want to thank you all for the love as well that you give in the comments. If you have any questions, let us know. If you see me moving around, it's because my ring light broke, so I'm holding it in my hand, kind of have to move around. It gets a bit tiring. But yeah, you want to continue? You want to continue on with the tarot reading?
Of course. Right. So big up, people, big up. So let's see what's the vibrations. And I say every time, the messages are very, very general. So just take them as they resonate. Don't make nothing feel like it wants stick and fit for no reason. You will know what's for you. And even if you don't feel like it right now, it might be something coming up. So be open to pre the signs, folks. So let's see what the line has got for us. So what is coming up for the collective in this upcoming week? I absolutely love these weekly forecasts. What is the vibration in it? What vibration do you have? What is the energy? Oh, okay. So yeah, it makes sense. Ooh, so four energies just jumped right out. We have the seventh chakra, Archangel Uriel, and we are dealing with the crown chakra. So again, that connection to source, where you are being shown your divinity, you're being shown your power and your strength and your connection. Even those who have, I'm going to say it's when the people who are now building the relationships. There are some who has a solid relationship with source. There's a dialogue, but especially for those who are just starting out, there is some dreams that are happening. There are some nudges that are happening, and just go with them. It's going to feel strange when it's like, oh my God, I just thought of that and it just happened, or I just thought of you and you called. All of those similarities and all of those synchronicities are going to be coming more and more to the surface. To be very, very open to it. Let source divine work with you. They're just sort of like, oh, he or she's listening. All right, I'm going to send them a sign. I'm going to show them something that only they will fully understand. And it's going to be bugging, and you might feel, oh my God, this is weird. Oh my God, this is strange. So for those who are at the beginning, it's a beautiful but quite scary place, because it's like, oh my God, am I psychic? Am I psychic? Oh my God, so what does this mean? So just be open to it. And for those who are a little bit more seasoned in the energy work and seasoned with their relationship to source, source divine is just saying, just lean in a bit more. Just go on, lean in a bit more. You know, let go a little bit. You know, just, you know, I'll catch you. You know, so there's a bit of a faith game going on. So it's sort of like, are you preying the signs? Are you seeing the constant flow and the slight changes? Because they're subtle changes, very, very subtle. So sometimes they can be missed if you're not, you know, if you're not paying attention. But there's always another sign sent in another way. So there is no need to be like, oh my God, did I miss out on my blessings? There is no missing out on blessings. It's just another journey, another road. Might take another little detour here and there. But just pre the signs. And for those who are new to this energetic flow and their relationship to their ancestors, let it be. Open up to it. Lean into it. It's okay. I know it can be a little bit shocking, like, what does this mean? It just means that it's time for you to dig a little bit more deeper, and source divine sort of saying, hey, do you want to test out your skills and powers? You know, do you want to see what you can do? You know, and it's that kind of energy. And, you know, we're here all the time, and you're powerful just as we are. So there's that energy coming up. So allow yourself to lean into those intuitions. And the connection to source, because they want to vibe with you. They like conversating, you know what I'm saying? Like it's something that you can really dialogue. It doesn't have to be, you know, I'm just speaking into the air. I know there was this meditation thing, and I'm just supposed to close my eyes, and you know, you can speak. So this feels a bit strange. Show me something that only I will know, or show me this color so I can kind of see. Test it in small little things, you know, because they love the dialogue. So I'm loving the fact that crown chakra is here. It's just telling us that the potential, we're being illuminated to what we can achieve, and actually how powerful we really are. And I love that because it's leading into the world. So anything in the world is possible. You know, anything you want is there. The world this card shows us about the unboundless possibility. And it speaks to us about travel and movement and expansion. So I'm loving the fact that source divine is saying, here, work with us. You don't even realize what more is out there. You know, there's going to be so much more for us to show you. There's so much going on. Just deep, you know, dig into it. Where now this has got this, can you see how this coming up to the eclipse season? Can you see that? It's like almost like it almost looks like there's an overcast over it. It's like if it was the moon, it'd be like the overcast. So again, the revealing of things, you know, the shadow, you know, things becoming, like I said, illumination. So the world, what you see, what you perceive is going to become bigger and expansive. So open to it, lean into it. I love that. And then we've got the thinking man. Now, when we get cards that's got gender on it, I don't want you to be hung up on that. You know, we both have masculine and feminine within us in general. But this thinking man possibly could be, you know, this energy that you're in right now, focusing, thinking about things. It's like you're strategizing. It's Look how this man's studying whatever he's got in his hand. It's taking the time. It's not a rush. It's, I'm going to build this relationship. I'm going to cultivate this type of space. I'm going to manifest this type of relationship, this type of partnership. This is how I'm going to do it. This is how I'm going to show up. And I'm going to get the background information, like you were saying before, Daryl, about what the universe is starting to open up to us. What do you need? You know, what's necessary for the next part of the journey. So it makes sense that the thinking man is here, because this is the person who is like, I think if I do it this way, I'll get a bigger response. Or I think if I do it this way, there's going to be a need to level up. And this is where the crown chakra comes into play. Listening to the divine wisdom, because the divine wisdom would allow us to have a more free-flowing energy. It will feel like, I know. It's an innate knowing. You know, like that. Sometimes you feel bossy because it's like, I just know. And people are like, how do you know? I just know. I don't know what it is in my body. I just know. It's that kind of energy. So lean into the innate energy, and then look at what happens. Blossom in abundance. So again, leaning into yourself. Blossom in abundance speaks about that space of not just financial abundance, but abundance of spirit, and balance and calm and love and harmony, you know, and togetherness. There is a beautiful symmetry going on between what's going on in our shadow side and actually what's taking place in our light bodies. Because where sometimes we go through a very, very harsh space, and it's like, oh, this is horrible, I'm not enjoying myself, you know, things that are coming up ain't been great. But when you come out of that, when you are able to say, oh, but I learned this, oh, but I saw that, and this was revealed to me, and I had a sneaky suspicion, or I felt in my stomach, I felt this funny vibe, and here it is, blossom in abundance. There is nothing that is going to be held back from you, especially when you are leaning into source and listening. You know, when you're starting to use your powers of discernment, and you're able to open up a little bit more. So I just want to see what the tarot has to say for those cards for the moment, because it feels really beautiful, but very reflective. Some of you are in a very dreamlike state, a very, I don't know what it is, but I'm just going with the flow. It's very, yeah, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, because you're being led and you're just allowing the current to take you. You know, it's beautiful. And even a good guy's been, you know, he's got a Tai Chi ball and he's been doing this whole, listen, it's beautiful. And I just feel the energy of this. I'm just going to let it flow. You know, I'm just going to keep that energy up. Yeah, it's beautiful. And like Source Divine is at the back of all of that, charging you so you can forge forward with those things. Let's see what this seventh chakra is directly linked to. Yeah, you see, the end of this really hard work. 10 of Wands speaks of, you know, I'm at the end of a really long, arduous task. I've been putting in this new work. I've been putting in this new energy. I've been putting in all I've been doing. And finally, I can relax. I can see it for what it was. That's why it's under the crown chakra. That's, you know, your work life, your career, you know, your home life. Your spiritual life as well, because one also speaks about, you know, us going into a space and taking actions on those things. So crown chakra was speaking to us about, look, the hard work where you just was battering yourself is over, because now you know what it is that you need to do and how you need to do it. So it doesn't need to be hard like that. It doesn't need to be, look how this man was bowing up his back. And now he's got the strength to lift up this and say, right, I'm finished with that now. This is the next chapter of this thing. You know, because Source Divine has shown me another way, shown me why I was doing that job for that space, why I had to deal with, you know, my family in that particular way, why I needed to take a break, why I needed to press forward with whatever it is I needed to do, because it's all becoming illuminated to you. So allow that space to happen, because this is it. It's the end of that hard slog. See, where we was really just, oh, I needed to do this because of, the mindset has changed. You know, it's not just about chasing the bag, man. It's like, is this helpful? You know, and now I can lay my burdens down. Now I can give myself space to breathe. Now I can act and move in a new and energized way. So I'm loving the fact that that's the levels. And then we've got the Empress, because look at it's all about the intuition and the things that we've learned. The Empress is somebody who has been through the whole bag. She knows what it is from the left to the right. She's been down at the number 0, worked her way all the way through. You know, she's gone through the wands and the actions and the heartache and the evolution. So this is what it's showing you. This is your life. The hard work, the slogging, you have been seen is what they're showing me. I've seen you working. I've seen you putting in the energy. I've seen you making those subtle changes, even when it's been difficult. I've seen you. I've seen you. And look at what you can do. Benefit from all of the information. Benefit from that wisdom. Benefit from that and utilize it and share it. You know, and that's what it is. Share your experiences. Don't be so frightened to show the more murky side of the situation, or the more darker side, or the ones that's not so bright and bubbly, because it's another part of you. It's another part of the experience. You know, if you're becoming a little bit more serious than you have done in a while, it's because of this. You've started to really review stuff and been like, this has been a interesting journey, you know, and I'm thankful, and I want to see what's next. So yes, it's all about the connection to source people. The work, the hard work has been seen, and the slog and the horrible energy is over, because now you understand. And even if you're still working towards this and you're not quite there at this, I've got this done, you're working towards it. You're moving your wands, you're taking action, and now you can start to see your growth. So give yourself a pat on the back for even the small things that you've been able to recognize, and be thankful to Source Divine and your ancestors for the illumination. You know, so you have been seen. You ain't battering for no good reason. You've been seen. They see you. There's a celebration going on in your honor. Keep that going, because they want you to experience all that the world and that this universe has to offer. Travel, expand, become bigger. You know, decide that, you know, who you thought you was doesn't have to be that person. Don't chain yourself to this one view that, oh, you know, I'm like this, I do that, da, da, da. It's like, you're so much bigger than that viewpoint. So allow Source Divine to sort of stretch you in a new way. Let's find out what's going on here. Yes, you see, utilize the things that have happened. See, we've got this Empress energy before here. We're talking about your intuition and your wisdom. And then with this one now, we're talking about the world, and the world's cards talking about still having a full experience, although there has been high, although there's been a lot of stress and anxiety, betrayal, heartbreak, you know, things that you've had going over in your mind. Why did this have to happen? And this could speak of your past. Maybe you're doing some real, some of you have just started therapy. Some of you are starting your journaling on a big level. Some of you are just starting to feel comfortable to speak your truths about certain situations, things that have just been going round and round in your head. And for some of you, this has made you shut off your heart to a certain degree. And what Divine's saying is that there is so much more to see when you allow yourself to lean into what was that about? What has that shown me? And when you realize that you had shut off your heart, now you can sort of say, so I can still forge forward, but in a more open way. It's that asar. It is what it is. Whatever the Most High has for me is going to happen, and it's going to be happening for me, not to me. So there's a different perspective, even with the stuff that's going on. So the Most High is saying, take the time to see what is bigger, and make sure you take on a rest. Yeah? The Four of Swords talks about rest. Take on a rest, relax on yourself, kick up your foot, you know, take time for reflection, take time for that real, like a mental detox. You need to remember how much we think and what happens, how many thoughts we have in a moment. You get what I'm saying? How many things we know that we've got to do for tomorrow, you know, I'm trying to say, before we've even decided what's happening right now. So allow your mind to have its reset. Allow your body to have its time for rejuvenation, because there are so much downloads happening. You are expanding at a serious rate, and it can become extremely draining. And you could perceive this draining as, I ain't got no energy. And it's like, no, no, no. Dig into that. That feeling is showing you that you're going through downloads. Your body is tired because you are being fed by the crown chakra, by the source divine. And they can only do that sometimes when your brain is a little bit more quiet, so that you can see, so that you can hear, so that you don't miss things. So allow your space time for that as well, so that everything can just go, that makes sense now. And there's going to be lots of moments of epiphanies and lots of moments of clarity in the next couple of days as well. So be mindful that some of the stuff that you've got clarity on, some stuff you already knew, and some it's sort of like, so what does that mean? How am I supposed to deal with that? You know, and then you must go back into source, go back into that space, sort of say, I'm here to experience what is it that's next for me. And that's the space to be in, you know, opposed from the trepidation of having to make any decisions at all, because there is source divine and your ancestors supporting you in a very big way. So this thinking man, I just want to get a little vibe on that before we go on to the next portion. So we have here the thinking man. What is the vibration on the thinking man? That makes sense. So we've got the King of Swords. I know what I'm doing, why I want to do it, yeah, and I'm very, very focused. I'm very, very serious about it. I've been thinking about this for a long time. Swords, the air sign energy, just really, really thinking, going over, making plans, forging things. And this is somebody they've been at this. And it's like at different stages, they've been tweaking. It's slow and steady, but sure and focused. And best believe they'll cut out the things that's not necessary. So they ain't partial. They ain't partial to the, yeah, nah, that needs to drop. That don't serve me. Nah, this ain't the bag. No, I took a U-turn. Let me just go back. It's like I fell off my route. Let me go back to where I'm at. So you may end up even feeling this energy of, like I said, some people are a bit frightened of their energy, because it's like, right, I'm a little bit sharp. I'm like a little bit like, you know, sorry people, I don't know what this energy is. I'm just on it, and I can't take no long thing. You know, I don't even mean it. It's just that energy of being focused and being decisive, which sometimes for the swords can be a little bit much when there's so much choice and so much stuff going on. True word. If tanks are yes, man. You see, true word, Miss Sneeze, on the truth. Yeah, don't worry about it for those who have been a little bit sharp and prickly. It's also that you can get into a space, as for some of you, this is becoming a space where you're realizing that it's about you being a leader now. Leadership, you know, stepping out. So this is where you would need to have both elements. Yes, with that Empress energy, that, you know, nurturing, you know, discernment and all of that good stuff. But also with that swords, and it's like, yeah, well, this is what's happening. This is what I'm about. This is what I need. Can you fulfill that? No? Okay. You know, say, I'm on to doing over here, unless there's something you can work out. Like, it has to be within this line. It has to be within this construct for me, because right now I'm just letting source move me. So it has to feel right. It has to feel in alignment. So I'm loving the fact that that's there. And then another thing, we've got the Knight of Cups. So I think some of you are thinking about a relationship, whether this relationship, this offer of love, this offer of a brand new start, this offer of going further into something, it's something brand new. This is a lot of thinking and deciding what's actually going on. And I love the fact that the swords is here. So it's saying, yeah, you may want all of that, but you see, after a while, and you don't see what it is that you want, and you ain't been speaking at this, you're ready to say, well, it has to be different, or you will be cut off. Did you get what I'm trying to say? For myself, for my feelings, for my emotions, for my mental state, I have to cut this. early. I have to shorten this because I need to look after me. And the thinking man is always strategizing about what is best for them. What is, you know, how is everybody going to get the best version of me if I'm doing this thing half-heartedly, or if I'm not giving myself what it is that I need? So people, let that be the case. Yeah. Let your yeses be yeses and your noes be noes. Yeah. That's the levels. Yeah. Then lastly, we've got the blossoming abundance. And like I said, it's everything. It's the experience. You know, the abundance is everything. It just feels so big. It's expansive. It's not just money, although that's in there, and we all like to see when a little extra change is coming in. So yes, make the school out, yeah, and yes, it's coming in from different avenues. You know, there might be some tax returns coming up. They may even be some some gifting going on. So there'll be some abundance that will come from. Look at that! I'm telling you, we are moving out of some serious stuff. Now, that energy that I was saying earlier on about people working through some stuff, you know, and I was saying from the Four of Swords energy, where I was saying, you know, possibly some past stuff, thought that was going to come up here. So you're working towards this blossom of abundance. For some of you, you are working through this past. This is Six of Cups. Six of Cups speaks of things that happened in the past. It could be last week. It could be when you were 10. It could be when you were 5. You know, it's all. And for some of you, this is a past life thing. So there are things that feel like it's similar. It makes sense, but it's like, is this really mine? Is this really mine? And where you're able to really work with the Most High and work with your ancestors, the more work you do on connecting, like I said, the very first card out is our crown chakra. The more you connect, is the more you can discern what belongs to you and what doesn't. In our DNA, we have many different memories, you know, and some not so great and some amazing. And it gives us the extra inspiration. It gives us that power. It gives us that bit to keep going, because in our DNA coding, we've got wonderful people who have forged this different kind of way, and then we also have those who maybe just missed the mark, or there's a sadness, you know, they went through some real horrific things. There are things in our bodies that will come out, and this is why emotions, so sometimes this emotions is linked to oh gosh, she's trying to call me. I'm on a, I can't speak, sorry, my phone's just ringing. I can't speak right now. But yeah, this Six of Cups energy is literally just about us recognizing what's for us. So allow yourself to feel it, see it, journal the things that you're seeing in your mind's eye, because it's connected to your abundance. It's connected to your abundance, what belongs to you and what doesn't. You know, and we are closing out cycles, and we are breaking generational things as well. So with everything, work out what's yours, what's not, and you can support through love. You know, there are going to be nudges for you to do certain things. It might just mean, you know, in that time I never got to speak up, so now in this space all you're doing is chatting the thing, and that is freeing the energy within. You know, I was once muted and now I can speak. This is my ancestor really giving it to him, you know. It's like, yes, these are all the things that I couldn't speak, I couldn't say, I couldn't stand up for myself. But sometimes there is that energy where, you know, you may find that, oh, that's not mine, you know. Some of it, again, with this devil energy, it could be that as well, this energy of negative stuff coming up, or you know, you're leaning into addictions more, or you're just, you know, you're a bit more frivolous than usual. Sometimes this is a space that you need to go through in order to shake off that old energy. So don't beat up yourself when it's just like, oh, I'm not being on point, da, 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 da. It's a process. As long as you keep going back to source, keep going back to the fact that you're a child of this great universe, that you're weaved into this amazing tapestry of life and experience and wonder. As long as you can keep going back to that space, keep going back to peace, don't worry about where this journey is taking you. Don't worry about the destination, just worry about flowing with the current. So lastly, let me just get a a vibration for you guys. What energies do you have that's for Tim, please? Actually, no, it's not too bad. All right, cool. So, in closing, the energy that will support you this week and moving forward, it speaks to our inner power. So the message is, give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. Okay, give me the courage and power to do what must be done. Inner power. Okay. So again, there is that space for movement. There is that space where you are being given a space to exact those things that are inside and that are frightening you. But rest assured, you have the courage, you have that divine support. Keep going up for that divine support. Speak it out. I need assistance with this. I need a bit more courage here with that. So again, give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. Okay, so don't worry, people, it will happen. It's going to be okay. Yeah, for those who are like, it's trepidation going on. Yeah, inner power is going to be utilized, so you can move past this bit. It's okay. Okay, and then we have, for some of you, there is this energy of awakening. So there is space for expansion there. Like I said, I feel like there's a few new energies to this thing, and their relationship to source is just beginning, and it's new, and it's quite frightening, but it's great at the same time. It's like, oh, I kind of want to step in a bit further, but oh my God, I want to go too far, you know. But I love this awakening energy. It says here, oh my Lord, wake me from life as a spiritual sheep. May I hear you through my own instincts and common sense. Listen, let me say that again, people. So, oh my Lord, wake me from life as a spiritual sheep. May I hear you through my own instincts and common sense. You see, if that ain't back to the crown chakra, you get what I'm trying to say, people? Your own instincts, your own actions, those things that you do, they're going to be nudges. They're going to be things that are going to show you things. So don't be frightened to move. Yeah. And then we have inner child. I love that. See, and I went back to the cups. So some of you are definitely dealing with some childhood stuff. And stuff that are going to be coming up. Be gentle with yourself, be kind. Remember, there's time for the rest, there's time for reflection, and there's also that energy of going back to peace by going back to source and saying, this is where I'm at. I know you see me, I need a little bit extras, and you speak and affirm the things that you have. I have courage, I have power. Even if you're saying that while your body's shaking, I have power. I have the ability to be seen, heard. I am a force to be reckoned with. Even if you're saying that with tears streaming down your eyes, soon enough you will recognize that that strength is there, you know. And in that moment, you are just releasing, and it's necessary to release. It's a reset. So do not feel no way about these things that are coming up. All right. So let's see what the inner child has got to say. Right. So it says, allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. So again, that one's hit me in my chest. So one more time, inner child. Allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. Okay. So there might be some inner child work going on. Compassion, love, just looking at what's there. You know, show that compassion to that inner you that sometimes you may want to silence because it's a little bit too much. You know, I've got things to do right now. So in those times of rest, you can allow yourself to talk to them, talk to that inner person. My little Shasha, she's gone through it, yeah? And we've had many a conversation, you know, I'm saying, and you'd be surprised the type of things that you can free yourself with once you understand where you are. You get what I mean now? It's like, oh, shit, she had to go through that so I could be there now with that amount of information, with this amount of, you know, so some of it's really hard, but be gentle with yourselves, and there's nothing but love and compassion here for you, okay? And then lastly, we have individuality. Every person has their own personalized study plan in Earth School. I love that. And we had the world card as well. Okay, so listen to the individuality, folks. So it says every person has their own personalized study plan in Earth School. In this Earth School, we all have our own study plan in this Earth School. Okay, so our way we do things, the way we get to our the knowledge that we need is might be slightly different. Some of us are here to make peace with a certain part of ourselves, and others are here to, you know, love on themselves more. Everyone's got a different thing that they're here to do in this Earth School. Do you get what I'm saying? But what's the great thing is that the collective is we're all growing and we're all in this school. You get what I'm saying? And some of us are at different stages in the gradings. Do you know what I mean? But we're all here to support one another. And your journey supports another person's journey. Okay? So be yourself first and foremost. I'm gonna change that. There ain't nobody like you. And lastly, step into that seventh chakra energy. Crown chakra, crown chakra, crown chakra. Connect, connect, connect. All right, Madaro, that's it, people. That's the vibrations.
Jeez. Okay. You said a lot. Let me just refer to my notes and all that. So I was writing notes on that. I really liked what you were talking about, especially like this before I go through notes, like just especially when you was talking about you can do anything and there being a lot of like abundance being available to us, especially when we're coming out of the Jupiter Neptune conjunction. You know, it's like it's the last bit of this energy to use. But I feel that since Jupiter's moved into Aries, it is about giving us that abundance. You know, even with like the thinking man, Mercury retrograde, you know, it all kind of fits in, you know, with like the crown chakra. What was coming to me, just trying to relate that to the lunar eclipse that's going to be happening tomorrow, is that we need to at times clear stuff so that we can really see what's available. Sometimes the abundance is already with us.
Yeah.
You know, it's in that cupboard somewhere. But because we've put so much on top of that, especially psychologically at times, we miss what's really already available for us. It's not even that the space ain't there. It's not that the money isn't there. It's that we've got so much things that are quote unquote relevant to our progression that really makes us happy, covering over all of the abundance that we hold. And so it's just a good time to really focus on knowing what we want, going for that, but at the same time experiencing, like I said, your shadow self, because abundance is an interesting thing because it's very individual. And we all want a vice somewhere down the line, whatever that is for you. Some people get addicted to work. It's still an addiction. It's still a vice, right? So it's about finding out what you're obsessed with and going in with that, you know, so that you're content in the fact that you are following your obsession. But as you are following it, you're then cutting out the things and the people and the relationships that are stopping you from doing that particular thing at the level that you need to do it at. But it always takes for us to acknowledge that and almost like listen to the crown chakra. The crown chakra says, you know, you like, I don't know, let's say it's fighting, right? But then you learn the martial art.
Yes.
And so you channel that love for it into a competitive sport, and it blesses your life. Whatever it is, it's typically there to cover a deeper need that is spiritual. Amen. So if you run away from it, we don't get to see it, you know. And even I think it was the 10 of Wands is about ending tasks, you know, but not doing what you hate under any circumstance. If you hate it, find someone else that loves it and get them to it. Because if you hate it, it's not worth you doing it. But again, that comes into sharing your experience with the Empress card. So, you know, coming to Gemini time, networking people, you know, talking to people, sharing that sort of stuff, having a good plan. You know, the Four of Swords and the King of Swords is knowing where we're going. Those are like fire signs, if I remember correctly. Swords is like fire, isn't it? So it's about that
so swords
action.
Swords are air. So it's a lot of the...
Okay. Okay.
Wands that you picked up,
And
the ones are the fire.
the ones of that. Okay, thank you. Thank you for correcting me. So it's the ones. And then you've got the emotional side, which is cups.
Yeah.
And we've got two big ones, cutting out relationships and then looking at the past.
Yeah, man.
It's, you know, how I see it is that sometimes we need to recognize how we feel about the past and then put that into our relationships.
Yeah.
Because we all try to forgive people and we do forgive them, but it doesn't mean that, you know, you might have to side-eye them every time you see them, although you've forgiven them on that spiritual path. And so don't be around those people at times and then try to say, I'm spiritual or I'm evolved past it, because sometimes the evolution is knowing that I love this person, but I need to love them from
a distance.
Love them from a distance. And then obviously you have the devil card there. You know, I actually like the devil card, don't judge me, but you know, the darker side of life. The darker side of life, you know, it really does give it that flavor. And I think with all of the planets that went through Pisces, it did kind of bring that up for us all, because these things are a part of life, guys. You know, so it's about the balance. And then obviously I always love the thought at the end. So you've got inner power, inner child, which, you know, that's about the internal, so your power. And then, you know, again, the child will fit in with the devil card because the child wants what it wants. And then you've got awakening and individuality. So it's like you awaken to the fact that you are an individual.
Yes.
So yeah, I really like the way it flowed and how it's going with everything that's going on. So is there any questions, guys? Let's see, currently doing my admin tasks. On a Sunday, you're better than me. So yeah, if there's no question, guys, we're going to close off. So we have got the meditation on tomorrow. Links are in our bio. It's at 7 p.m. We'll be breaking it down. If you can't make it physically, there are recordings available as well for everybody. So we'll do it and then we send out a recording. Remember to get personal readings for us. If you cannot be a part of the meditation, guys, do meditation, do some form of clear out. You know, it's like emotional, steep emotional stuff, baths, other things like that that you can use. How do you book onto it? So if you go into link in our bios, you'll see it, Scorpio full moon, and then you just click in and it's on Eventbrite. And they will send you an email which will take you to the event page, and then you can just log in from there at that time. So yeah, guys, get your personal readings, book for life coaching as well. And just remember, you know, Mercury retrogrades are for reviewing and to make you the best version of yourself. And you're always perfect by design, everyone. We'll see you again tomorrow or next week.
Exactly. Big up yourselves.
Big up yourselves, everyone. Bye.